I'm afraid all this microphone is gonna pick up is the squeaking of the chair, but we're here today for a little BJD painting. Here's a girl. I'm making this doll into Aurora, the singer. She just goes by Aurora. If you don't know who she is, I'm gonna link some of her music down below. She's a fascinating person and a very unique voice in the music industry. And I'm finally getting to painting this doll, which is very exciting because it's been a long time. This doll is an Amicus Doll Freya. I purchased her sometime last year. I went crazy with BJDs last year, which I guess is good because of tariffs. I can't really afford them anymore. So I got my fill, I do suppose. I don't know. I'm like not actually sure what I want to do here. She has like a very cool toned skin and they've never done a doll this cool toned before. So let's see, I mixed this color. I'm scared. I'm gonna put it up here on the ear. That's all right, I think. Actually, I think I want to go a little bit more red on the ear. I'm using soft pastels. I'm using the Rembrandt brand. That's like the brand that I bought when I first started doll customizing. And I have a ton of them, so I still use them. They work fine. It's like, would a pan pastel work better? Yes. This is all right. I can tell I didn't get any Mr. Superclear on the back of that ear, despite turning the head multiple times, but it's fine. Try next round. I need a magic eraser. I'm actually gonna go in with just brown on the cheeks because she's so cool toned and just like see, and it's laying on completely uneven. Yay. Let me try a fluffier brush. This is the worst part about doll customizing is Mr. Superclear. It's like so hard to use. Yeah, I think we're gonna go like brown, which I never do. I usually go red. Obviously, she'll get some red in her, but I'm gonna start with brown. Not blending at all. I ended up getting the matte Mr. Superclear instead of the flat one because they didn't have the flat one, and I don't know if they just changed the name or the formula, but I don't like it. And I find that the first few layers always come out really patchy and bad. So that's a point of note for everybody. I sprayed under here twice. Do you think any color will go down? Probably not, right? A little bit, maybe. Fine. This doll was modeled after a real person. I think she's like a Norwegian model. I can't remember her name, but she actually looks kind of like Aurora, which is why I wanted to make Aurora from this doll. This nose in particular is quite good. I don't need to do a lot to it to like reshape it to the right shape. I normally put eyebrows on first, but I'm scared because she's got such light eyebrows and they're very low set. And I'm actually terrible at them. I want to be able to make eyebrows like Pasha. If you've never seen a Pasha eyebrow, here you go. Most incredible eyebrow I've ever seen. I don't know, I might end up having to go darker, but I think this is kind of fine for now. I'm like quite a heavy-handed painter. And normally I'm like fine with that. I'm like, that's just the way it is. My dolls are going to have a heavy-handed aesthetic because that's just who I am, but I like don't want this doll to have a heavy-handed aesthetic because Aurora's just so like light and fresh and free looking, and that's what I want this doll to look like. So I'm being like particularly careful, but she'll probably end up too dark just like everybody else. It's fine. It's my aesthetic. What can we do? Looks like virtually nothing. I also am impatient, so it's like when the color doesn't pay off immediately, I get mad because this Mr. Superclear sucks. This is just the process at this point. Should I go in and try the eyebrows? She just definitely has like a low eyebrow ridge, so that's something. And her eyebrows are so light and cool toned. Let me actually just plop a little color up there first. I'm gonna do a little bit of color, the teенsiest bit. I should probably not do this, but it's fine. She's blonde. Do I even have blonde? This is kind of so warm. I want cooler than that. Like maybe almost gray. Let me go see what else I have. What's this gonna look like? This is gonna be a mistake is the question I am asking. Let's see. She's heavy like up here with eyebrow. Is this doing anything? No. I'm fairly certain on camera you can see nothing, but I have blocked an eyebrow out, so that's something. Also, I don't know why my voice sounds like this. Am I sick? Is it the weather changing? God only knows. Did I eat a whole pizza and then get debilitating acid reflux? Could that be the problem? Definitely. Can you see them? Can you see the eyebrows? Probably not, but that's fine, no worries. I think I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. That's just the first layer. We'll work on them as we go. And I love a really small brush so I can get into her eyelid crease. Also, because I'm heavy-handed, I like to use as much pastel as possible because it's like the least pigment payoff that you can get. And so it's easier to build up slow. Especially on this first layer with the bad Mr. Superclear, it's like super easy to get rid of stuff. It'll just fall off as you go, basically. Just, you know, great for me. This color looks cool, but now I think it's too warm. It almost needs something with gray in it. Look, see, nothing on the ears. That for me. Part of the issue is I've also never cleaned these brushes. Literally, ever. I just go like this. And I'm like, clean enough. I'm gonna throw a little bit of red in there, but not too much. And I'm using my Cool Tone red. I usually use one called Caput Mortuum. That's my favorite one. But I have this one. I'm not sure what it's called. I think the paper's gone. That's my favorite Cool Tone red. It's called Rouge something. Looks like this. Here's the gray color. I'm gonna try a little bit of that. Very corpsey. A little bit of that like gray color into like the deepest pockets of her cheeks. Seeing how that goes. It might be too corpsey. I actually think it looks pretty good. Just neat. And just throw it up there too. The red and the corpse color. I'm gonna give her like a little under eye shadow here. Like so subtly. I like these eyebrows. They're like pointing in the wrong direction. Her eyebrows go like up. They look like they should go down, but they point like this. I'm gonna get her closer to my face and work on those eyebrows. Right, I'm a little happier with that. I need to stop soon though, because I need to seal those eyebrows in. But I wanna do one quick thing before I go. I just want to give her a little color right in her tear duct. A lot of bit of blue because she's so cool. I'm gonna call this layer done, and I'm gonna spray her down with Mr. Superclear, and then we're just gonna work on the hands while she dries. I put her off to the side, but I can still smell her. This is not how you use Mr. Superclear. It should be in a well-ventilated area, and it should be able to dry in a place that is away from you. And I am not a good example, so don't listen to me or anything I have to say, okay. So I've sprayed my hands with the same crappy Mr. Superclear. Once again, we're working on a cool tone girl here, so I wanna try to mix my red with my brown, and maybe put a little corpse in there, and see what we can come out with. That's the vibe, the mood, the vibe, and the feeling. Let's see what this looks like. So I'm just gonna put this like where you would see color on a human hand and see what happens. Like, first layer is always trash. I almost feel like, no, maybe it's fine. Maybe it needs more red. I don't know. Looks patchy as fuck. Love that for me. There's like no color sitting on the knuckles. That's fine. That's how you want to be. That is fine. All right, and when you look at the palm of a hand, there's like specific places where there's red. And so I'm gonna put that there. Did the Mr. Superclear get in here? I specifically sprayed it. Let's see. Not really. I think maybe I want to mix the bread. It's a Freudian slip because I want bread so bad. I think maybe I need to mix the red with the corpse color and no brown. But I'm gonna do that on the next layer. And I want like a subtle hand blush, but I'm not a subtle person. Like a big hole where it's not laying down. Love that. Hate the way this looks. It looks so patchy and bad. Yay. These hands are so attractive. I don't want to do them dirty. Look at them. Look at that. All right, I'm gonna hit up all the knuckles. And I'm gonna be so subtle because it's laying down like shit. All right, so looking pretty patchy and terrible, which is to be expected. I'm just gonna try to like maybe blend it a little bit with the fluffy brush. But it's like the color's not even laying down, and it's so interesting because when I sprayed it, I was so sure to turn it, get in all the little holes, but it's like missing chunks of color payoff. And I like stopped body blushing my dolls because of how much effort it takes and how it like tends to look bad with use. But I'm gonna do probably a little bit of chest on this doll. And she's barefoot because Aurora tends to be barefoot. It's like her preferred state. So I need to do the feet no matter what. But that's not an activity for today. That'll be an activity for a different day. And since this is flopping so hard, I'm just gonna add some blue and call this hand done. And you got some blue in between the fingers. There's veins all over the hand, which I'll do in a minute. There's a lot of blue in the joint that attaches the thumb to the hand, because there's a lot of veins in there. Go with like a reach around. It's really hard to get to the interior of the hand because of the position that it's in. And so let's put some veins in it. My like thickest ones are on the exterior, so we'll just go with that. And this is actually a Holland brand pastel pencil, so it's great for getting those like thin little lines. And I draw them in nice and thick. So I'm just doing some branch-like marks on these hands. I'm gonna do these two a little thicker because that's where my heaviest veins are. And then I'm gonna do some thinner ones that go out like this. Once I've got some sort of shape that I like, I can take a brush or a magic eraser and just diffuse it. I think it's a little heavy-handed, of course. You can actually go thicker width-wise over here. I mean, it's not ideal, so hopefully the next layer will get me better color payoff or more even. It's really like the evenness of it. So I'm gonna put this hand down for now, and I'm gonna try one of these hands to see if I just had a hard time spraying or it really is just the spray. It might just be the spray. Well, let's see. Let's try. I think I am doing a little better over here. I'm really not. There's virtually no color sticking to this. It's not patchy, but there's also literally no color. So fine, cool. Great, there's a little bit, kind of worked, okay. It's just so interesting, it's so uneven. It's sticking to there. Why isn't it sticking to anywhere else? It's okay, because my last few face ups and blushing experiences have gone the same way, and they turned out fine in the end. It eventually kicks in and starts working. You're just gonna layer it up, I think, a little bit more than the flat Mr. Superclear that I'm used to, which is probably for the best considering my heavy-handed problem. Yeah, see, random, just sticking to random places. Nothing, literally actually nothing. Fascinating, unique, cool. That one looks a little better. Let's just add some blue to it. The other thing is half the color payoff, especially with pastels, sprays off as soon as you spray the Mr. Superclear. So I always want to go a little bit heavier than I think. I guess I'll go back to this now. Torture myself with a little more. I wish you could see the mess I'm sitting in. Every time I craft, it's just everywhere. And that's part of the reason I have a hard time doing it. Especially when I'm busy with work and stuff, because I'm like, well, the house is gonna be a mess and that's gonna be upsetting to me. Are you a messy crafter like me? Oh, look, this one's kind of working. Or are you like super neat? My problem is I have to make a mess in order to do the craft. It's like sticking, but like only to one area. This is fine, it's gonna be fine, probably. The good thing about doll customizing is that if it looks like absolute shit, you can just take it all off and start again. Did I pay $1,500 for this doll? Yes, but it's gonna be fine, you'll see. I just breathed and that's just gone. Oh God, that's way too dark now. Just gonna try and see what's gonna happen here. I mean, I know people have been asking for these crafting videos. Like, I hear them in the comment section, so I'm like trying to give the people what they want. But it's funny because every time I do the crafting content, nobody watches it. So I'm like, are there 5 people that want to see this? The answer is probably, but here we are. We're trying it out. But that's the thing. I keep trying things that I've done in the past to see if people like them. And the answer to the question is no. YouTube has pigeonholed me into, I guess, a doll review channel. So that's all I can do, or it's not gonna promote it to the right people. Like, it specifically likes my Barbie content. My Barbie content tends to do well. And everything else kind of just rots away. And I'm not sure how to fix that. Like, I'd love to be able to figure out how to get this stuff out to the right people, because I know people are interested in this because they watch other people's videos on this. But because of the way the YouTube algorithm functions, it tends to pigeonhole you. And I wish that that wasn't the case. I wish it worked more like TikTok's algorithm. Because I feel like TikTok takes each one of your TikToks as an individual and sort of finds the audience for it. Whereas YouTube takes you as a whole, which I just think is interesting. Anybody out there good at YouTube and can explain to me how the algorithm truly works? Like, I've watched tons of videos on it, like, you know, the experts, the expert guys. And they basically say just that, they pigeonhole you. And like, the closer you stick to one specific thing, the better your content will do. But I have ADHD, dude. Like, I can't do one thing. I'm not interested in one thing. I'm interested in lots of things. And all those things relate back to the same topic, which is dolls, but I guess that's too broad for YouTube. You know, I'm learning. I'm a little bit of an older millennial. I'm still learning how to use social media. I feel like I have learned quite a bit and things are going relatively well considering, but I don't know. It's probably also that I'm impatient, you know. But it also interests me that certain channels just take off immediately. And I've noticed, I don't know, that it tends to be male channels. Doll channels that are run by men. And I don't know why that is. Is it just like an implicit bias that just like the world, that YouTube also just prefers male content? Like, I don't know. It's just an interesting point of note that I have noticed. Have you noticed that also? I was talking to one of my friends who follows me here, and she also noticed the same thing. And it tends to be the male channels that take off the fastest and do the best, and all of us ladies are just rotting away. I like to try and bring like a friendly vibe to my channel, because that's what I like to watch. Like, I don't find myself gravitating to these really quick, fast-paced videos anymore. Like, I liked them for a while, and I was editing like that for a while, and it wasn't going well for me. And then I realized the videos of mine that do the best are actually the more rambly ones. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. This is the content that I prefer, and it's also the content that's doing the best. So I guess I just make that style of content, which I feel like has been more fun for me. So it makes me want to do the content more, which I suppose is good. But it's just interesting. And I'm sort of fascinated. My brain that loves to solve a puzzle like wants to break the algorithm. I want to figure out really how it works, and I want to like, you know, Mr. Beast YouTube. Not that a doll channel could ever Mr. Beast YouTube, but you know what I mean. You see what I'm saying? Like, I want to get it, but I don't think that I get it, and that's okay, because here I am having a nice time, right? Let me do my blue. Where's my small brush? Hello. For the record, I don't even watch Mr. Beast. I've never seen one of his videos. I know who he is because people talk about him as like the man that broke the algorithm, but never seen a single one of his videos. I also have an art style that's very much this, which doesn't necessarily work great for dolls, but I can blend that and make it look better. I also went on a kick over the pandemic with photorealism, which I feel like has helped with the dolls. This is some of the art that I did over the pandemic. They would take days to complete, and because I had just days to sit around doing nothing, I would do this. And I loved it, and I found it so fun. But now that I like have a life again, can't make art like that. Because my whole mood, vibe, and feeling is I want to just sit down, be able to hyper-focus on it until it's complete. There's that hand. This one came out, I think, the best of all of them. Why? Who knows? Time for another spritz of Mr. Superclear, and then we'll move on. All right, I'm back with hands. I'm trying to get the eyebrows right off camera. I'm not gonna be able to do that on camera. And honestly, I feel like these hands look better than I expected them to after the first round. I don't even know that I want to do that much more to them because I just want this girl to be soft. Just look at them. There's like a couple spots I want to touch up, but I really don't want to add too much more color to these because I feel like they look good and soft and not aggressive. This one looks the most aggressive. Let me just mix my new color. Should have done this already. Welcome to crafting with me. I'm literally just gonna hit a couple points, a little bit more color. And after that, we're gonna call it finished because otherwise I'll go overboard because that's who I am. Just trying to like really centrally locate it too so it has a nice blend on it. Yeah, see, that looks nice. Let's do the same thing on these knuckles. See, it wants to stick there and nowhere else, which is very annoying. Just hit up the wrist a little bit. Hey guys, it's me, frustrated girl, with shipping again. Like I went through a period where like all my shipping was going like okay and fine, and I was like, yay, we're on a good path here. And then the fashion pixies started rolling out, and people would be getting their fashion pixies, but not me. Like, people have gotten jade. I ordered jade the moment she was available. I haven't gotten my jade yet. I ended up buying a second jade from Target, who promised to send it to me sooner than Amazon, so we'll see if that works out. And I'll just return the one from Amazon. It's fine. But then something worse happened. I ordered my Pin for Love Labubus on the launch day, right at launch time. Everybody seems to be getting their Pin for Love Labubus, and mine seemed to be back in China. They like arrived, there was like an arrival to the port scan, and then yesterday it was like back at the warehouse. In China? Question mark? It's really hard to tell, but it seems like they just went back to China. And so once again, we're late to the game, and I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. This is my biggest frustration. When you're making content on the internet that's kind of based on how quickly you can get things, if you don't get it fast, you're not gonna be seen and you're not gonna make any money. And that is a problem for me. And so every moment my pin for love Labubu's don't arrive to me, the less likely it is anybody's gonna see the video. So that's depressing. Same with the Pixies. I feel like the Pixies, the whole game with the Pixies is kind of over because everybody has them at this point except for me. And like, you know, all the doll tubers from other countries have had them for months. And I feel like that's also part of the issue because of what's going on here in this country. It's been really difficult for us to get stuff. So doll tubing, you're always behind. Always, always behind. So that's my current state, just constantly behind. Behind the 8 ball, behind the game. No winning. And I feel like I'm just sitting here and complaining. But these are the things that stress me out because I don't have a job right now. I need to, you know, do my best to make as much money as possible on the internet. And I feel like every step I take, unfortunately for me, it's just like, it's like not panning out. It's not working out. So that's stressful, but it's fine. I've been living like this for 37 years. Why would I think things would change now? These hands look good to me. I'm happy with them. All they need is like the fingernails done. I'm gonna spray them and I'll be back. All right, so I'm back with my hands. I just wanna do the nails. And then give them a final spray of Mr. Superclear and be done with them. I like them, they're very subtle. So the opposite of what I normally do. I think I'm gonna use this color. I'll try it, we'll see how it goes. I need a thin brush, hello? Thin brush, here's one. All my thin brushes are like trashed, but it's fine. We're just gonna make it work. I actually wish that these hands had short nails and I could cut them, but I don't want to because I paid too much money for the doll. So Aurora has long nails in this situation. She got some fake ones. These are like covered in dog hair. They're my makeup Q-tips, and I dropped these ones all over the floor. So I deemed them craft Q-tips, but now they're just covered in dog hair. So that's how it is. Really struggling to get the right quantities here on this brush. I don't know, I see other people doing this and it just looks so easy. I'm like, not for me. This part's not easy. I used to be so good at this. I could do like a hand in like 5 seconds, but I'm not anymore. I'm out of practice. Can't wait for 5 people to watch this. Here come the fucking sirens. Just reshape that one a little. I don't like the way it looks. There we go, that's better. It seems to be a pattern that once the sirens start, they will not stop for the next few hours. Not sure why that is. But if they begin, they shan't be ending. So enjoy the dulcet tones of the ambulances. So what's everybody else working on? Anybody working on some good projects? Doll projects? Other craft projects? I'm interested, I wanna know. Some people send me some updates from what they're working on Instagram, and I enjoy that very much. So if you'd also like to share with me your updates on what you've been working on, please follow me on Instagram. Here's my Instagram handle. It's also linked down below. Oops. I made this doll an outfit last night, not on camera. I got in the flow, never turned it on. But I pretty much think the outfit's cute. There are a few things I wish I did different, but once I am finished painting her, I'll show you the whole thing all together. I have some other ideas for outfits. Maybe I'll try one on camera. The problem with me and sewing is a lot of the time I'm like flying by the seat of my pants. Like I know what I want to make, but I'm having to sort of drape it on the doll. And a lot of the time it takes like 5 different sort of iterations of the thing for me to get it right. And it's hard to film, and it's also like incoherent because it's super hard when you're trying to drape on plastic to get it right and describe what's actually going on, because it's more like trial and error. So that's the issue with that. Like you get like something that's close, you make a muslin out of it, then you alter the muslin, you make a new pattern, and hopefully at some point you'll get there. Like a lot of the time, I either end up with 5 different muslins if I'm trying to get like a really well-fitting garment, or I'm sort of just changing the idea as I go to make it work, which is kind of how this outfit worked out, and I'll show you once we get there. So it's like this doll has really good mobility. She's got a lot of joints, which is great for posing, but actually hideous for dressing. And I know some smart person out there is gonna be like, why don't you just make a tape form of your doll? Because I'm too lazy. Especially when I'm like sewing a lot of clothes for these dolls, it would probably help me to do that. Save time in the end. There we go. I think the other one looks better. That's okay. The gripping hands are finished. I just need the open hands. That was my splurge. I purchased myself the gripping hands. Oh, there comes another one. See, I told you. Once it starts, the fun don't stop. Not here in New York City. That's one of my my sensitivities, I suppose. Like the sound of sirens sends me. I wonder if this is even in focus. I can't tell. I'm thinking about the face as I do this. I think I'm gonna do like a crazy thing that I would never normally do and put like one more layer of color on the face, then go in with like the little detail stuff and then be done. Which is like not my normal state of being. I usually put like 10, 15 layers of color onto a doll, but I really don't want her look overdone. I just want her to be soft and delicate. And you know what? If I end up hating it, I can always go in and add more color. Like, it's not that big of a deal, right? We'll see how I feel. I feel like that's my problem. I never like it when it doesn't have enough color on it. Like, I like when other people do it, though. I just don't think I know how to do it right. That's my problem. Every single one of these is too dark. Like, as soon as I said, I'm getting better at it, I flopped so hard. I'm gonna pull this off and just get close and do this real quick. I finally got an MRI for my hip. You know, you have to get the approval and everything. All that stuff finally came through. I'm going to the doctor tomorrow so he can read it. And I swear to you, when he says it shows nothing, I'm gonna scream. I think there's gonna be nothing wrong with it. That's the problem. And it's like really frustrating for there to be nothing wrong with it, because then there's really no solution, you know? Like, there's no, like, here's what you can do to fix it, because there's technically nothing wrong with it. And I think that's what's going to be the case, because, you know, I have Ehlers-Danlos, and my problem is systemic and seemingly unsolvable. Like, I will have the heaviest day of work where I'm lifting, I'm bending, I'm carting stuff around for two and a half hours straight. I'll wake up the next day feeling great. And then I just have, like, a normal day where I'm doing the normal stuff, like, you know, walking, sitting. Here they come. I do my little PT exercises, and then, like, I wake up the next day feeling like I literally got hit by a car, and I'm like, why? What's the reason for this? There's no answer. And that's what's the most frustrating about it, because it just feels so random. It's no, like, pattern to discover. It's my pattern-seeking brain. There's no, like, nothing to do, because I don't know what's aggravating it. So I can't not do that thing, you know? Because there's no reason for it to be like this, other than, you know, all my joints are too loose and general instability. Just people walking around out there. They have jobs where they sit. They do no exercise. And I'm not judging them for that. I'm jealous. and they're just walking around just fine. What a privilege it must be to live in a body that's not just constantly rebelling against you. The thing I'm watching that I'm enjoying the most right now is Survivor, but it's the Australia versus the world Survivor. You can watch it on YouTube, but they usually end up taking them down after a while. But if you haven't seen it, Australian Survivor is truly the most unhinged Survivor I've ever seen. These people are freaking insane. The way they play the game is not the way Americans play the game. America puts so much focus on physical strength, and that's not what the game is necessarily about. It's outplay, outwit, outlast. And in Australian Survivor, it's much more strategic. I don't know if it is much more strategic or the edit just focuses on the strategy, but also the way they edit it, you have no idea which way the vote's gonna go until it is cast. It could go 5 different directions, and it's always kind of a surprise. And it's just like really well done. And this particular season has people from all over the world, you know, competing against the Australians. And so we've got some classic players like Suri and Parvati. What's his face? The guy that won twice. He was on there. I just spoiled it. He obviously doesn't win again. But it's been a really great season. Lots of twists and turns, lots of fun. Anybody else have a favorite TV show that I should check out? I like the dark stuff. You really want to understand what I'm like and what I like. BoJack Horseman is my favorite television show of all time. I really like the earlier seasons of Rick and Morty. I just watched the newer ones and I did not really care for them, which is unfortunate. You know, there's probably obvious reasons for that. No worries. What others are my favorite shows? The OA, The Leftovers, 2 of my favorites of all time. I love Succession. Yes, the dark, emotional type. All right, that one looks kind of bad, but it's done. Great, yay. Gonna spray those. The last thing I need to do is gloss up the nails, and we're gonna go ahead and work on the face, yay. All right, and those eyebrows are so light, but Aurora's eyebrows are truly practically undetectable. I'm gonna, see, like the subtlety of the face I really like. I wanna like bump up a little bit of the blue. I think I wanna do almost nothing to the lips. I think that they're good. I wanna add just a little bit more dimension to the eyes, and perhaps like a cool tone blush, and then just be done. Because I just feel like if I start in, it's gonna be too much because I have no self-control and I'm too heavy-handed. Okay, so what things did I just say I was gonna do? Let me start with a little bit of blue. The blue I wanna add is just a little bit of veining up the sides. And since she's so pale and cool tone, you're gonna see a lot. Do the same thing over here. The funny thing is when she's photographed, you don't really see that much veining. There's like some blue in there too. I'm gonna add that. The animal doesn't know how to be quiet. Oh, somebody's fucking with the trash can, that's why. She don't like that. She doesn't like when people are in the hallway. She thinks she owns the hallway. I got news for you, babe. You don't. Just add a little bit of blue under the eye in the inner corner here. Very pale people tend to be quite blue in there. Unless you have a green or yellow undertone like I do, and then you're just purple. I'm using the straight red right here because she actually has quite a lot of red in that area. I was studying her photograph. And I'm gonna give her a little bit of red on the tip of her nose. Just ever so slight. Cute. And I usually do like a red, blotchy sort of blush across the cheeks, but this girl's not getting that. It's just more shadow. I hate how blue that is. Kind of too much, no worries. It's just like I don't want to add more. Just so unlike me. Throw a little bit more. This jawline. It's gonna suck trying to get eyelashes on her. I want to do like whiten the lips. you know, little white lines. Absolutely too much fucking water. Nothing's even wet. That's the worst part. It's gonna be too dry. I know it. It's just right. I feel like now she's looking a little bit too light on the lips. See, this is what happens when you try techniques you don't know. Because my lips are usually super dark at this point, and then when I add the white, it looks normal. We can blot some off, that's fine. And if I wait for that to dry, I can add a little more color and then it will look good. Normally I'd add some yellow into that, but I want her to be cool tone, so she's not getting yellow. I want to see how I feel about a little bit like cool tone blush while I wait for those lips to dry. If I give her just a little bat on the cheek, how does that look? Oh, I think it's pretty. I'd love this to be like really precise right in here. This is not a technique I've used before. Just the pointiest Q-tip to the tear duct. And I guess it looks fine, because tear ducts usually have a big light reflection in them, which is what that looks like. The lips still look like cocky do. I'd love for them to not. That would be so great, thank you. Once I get those to the place I want them to be, I'm gonna spray her. And then I'll come back for more if I feel like I need it. But this is really looking like the soft hand that I was going for. This has been very challenging for me because this is not what I do. Like you've seen some of my other dolls, I'm like super heavy-handed. And they've got like super dark everything all over. But this is beautiful. I like it. What did I tell ya? Once they start, they don't stop. It's funny because I like never hear about like big dramatic things happening, but in my mind, a big dramatic thing must be happening for them to just be constantly over like the course of like what you'd expect, you know, like an hour. Like there must be a big dramatic thing happening this hour. Never hear about it. I love the cool tone blush. I hope when I spray it, it stays like that. It probably won't, it never does. I also like her eyebrows. Just one ugly fucking spot. Just here. Just chill that out a bit. I think if that works, she's good to get sprayed. I think she's pretty. I think she's looking really good. Subtle, soft. The chair is so loud. I am so sorry. It's probably so annoying, but that's fine. We're just hanging out, having fun. I'm gonna use this Tamiya Color acrylic paint, clear gloss, to gloss up these fingernails. It's actually more gloss than I want, but it is my favorite gloss. It's like self-leveling, it's really easy to apply. It looks really nice. Then we can decide which hands I want to put on her. I think I want just the normal gesture. Because I had one of each on before and I like wasn't vibing. This brush is raggedy. I shouldn't have done that finger first. These hands look so good. These are some of the best hands I've ever done because I didn't go crazy. Hopefully I feel the same way about the face. The other question I'm having is this Mr. Superclear doing anything? I feel like it's kind of not working as I would expect. Maybe I'm just not putting enough on. There we go. It'll probably stay just about that shiny, which is too shiny for Aurora's hands, but it's fine. No worries if not. Is it even in the frame? God only knows. I need like a viewfinder for when I film like this, because I cannot see anything. My dog's being so nice today. She's like wants to cuddle and stuff, which like is not typical. So I'm like, is she okay? Or maybe she's just needy, or she's needy for a bath, that's for sure. She's very greasy. But I'm going to Massachusetts and they have one of those tubs with the nozzle that you can like take off. It's easier to clean her in that tub, so I'm just gonna wait a week. She'll be clean later. Or I could take her to PetSmart again. I think it costs like 60 bucks, maybe even less for the bath and the nail cut. I like that you can just see like the progression of the mess. This is what it looks like after I do any project. And I never cleaned up from sewing last night either, so there's shit everywhere. Let's check on the face. How do I feel about this? Do we like it? Does she need more lip color? Am I gonna be sorry if I put more lip color on there? Maybe I'm gonna live with her like this for now. And then if it bothers me, I can switch it because I love it. I love how subtle she looks. I love how subtle she looks. I just think it's so pretty. I need to put lashes on her and like gloss up the parts that need gloss. But you know what else I usually do? I usually spray a gloss Mr. Superclear over the top. Let me see her with eyes in. She's straight up hot glue to that. It's like the 20-minute battle of trying to get eyeballs in. I'm not good at it. It's stuck to my hand. Just smash it in. I think it looks good. What do you think? Is it not enough? Or is it right? That eye ain't right, that's for sure. I need to see. I need to look at a picture of her and see where her eyes sit in her head. I don't know, I think it's good. It's like that, a little bit uneven. I think she's pretty. What do you think? Should I do more? Let me know in the comment section down below. Excuse me? Excuse me. First, I need you to look at the face, okay? Look at it. She looks just like Aurora. She came out so good. I'm so happy I decided to not add more color to her because I feel like she's perfect in every way. And she not only looks like Aurora, like the sculpting kind of looked like Aurora to begin with. And like I tried to paint her face as close to Aurora as possible, but like the softness of it like sells the Aurora fantasy, okay? So I'm super happy that I decided to not go heavier on the face. I did add some lashes. I also decided to not add any gloss because the gloss Mr. Superclear that I sprayed on the face gave it like just enough gloss. Like she's not like a glam girl. She doesn't need gloss. She has enough gloss. She has natural glow, which is the mood, vibe, and feeling, okay? Let's just fold her little hand in for a second so you can take a good look at that. There's the hand. It's really pretty. It looks really natural, really nice. And the other side looks like this. See, she's giving. Nobody can move their wrist like that, but Aurora can. Just truly stunning and outstanding. And I love her so much. So now I'm gonna show you the outfit that I made. It's not quite done. Like I need to buy some things to like finish it for real. And I wanna like maybe shop for some more trims or something. And I'll talk a little bit about the outfit and how I feel about the outfit because I always have feelings. It's very tall, which is not Aurora-like. Aurora is actually quite on the short side, but there we are. That's the fantasy, the full fantasy. So I made her this little bra top, which is what Aurora always wears. That came out okay. It didn't pan out the way I wanted it to. I wanted it to be finished and for you to not see any seam lines. But unfortunately the fabric that I was using, this is my classic problem, was too thick. So it had to be single layer. That's what it turned out like. The stitching's not the best because I'm not the best at sewing, if I'm honest. And then I made her this little like, you know, arm sweatshirt. And Aurora wears things like this all the time. And this I also wanted to like finish differently and make look a little bit better. But this is the best I could do with what I was given. Like her arms don't go all the way up because of the way her shoulder seam is. She's got these like very nice articulated shoulders that most ball jointed dolls do not have. She's got a lovely sculpted armpit. I'll link the video where I opened this doll down below. You can really see the sculpting on it. But because of that, her arms don't go straight over her head, and I found it very difficult to get the clothes on her. So I cut the hole in the neck bigger, which isn't what I wanted to do. I gave her sort of like a rough finish on that, and I left the hem raw, which I may do this too. That also needs like a little bit of a trim, needs to get cleaned up, just to match it up. I added a cute little trim to the wrists of it. These were all just fabric scraps that I had in my house. I really want to use up my fabric scraps, and here comes the police, of course. So this skirt is quite bulky at the waist, which like is so unavoidable when you're sewing for dolls, but I think if I were to do this again, I would sew it onto an elastic band and get like a flatter finish. So I'll probably make her more skirts in the future and try that. But I need to get some like different colored elastic so it's not just ugly white elastic. So that's one thing. This overskirt, I just like found this piece of fabric and I was like, that's cute. So we made her this little overskirt. She's always dressed in layers. So I wanted to like get that move I've been feeling for her. This is literally the main skirt here that's too bulky at the waist, is made out of a laundry bag that I got at the dollar store. This was a scrap of fabric that I think was in my friend's box that she was getting rid of. So I just took it and look how perfect it is. It's got that sort of, you know, earthy vibe that Aurora has. This skirt needs a different tie at the waist. I decided to tie it. I'm not sure why. I think I thought I was gonna hang everything off the side and make it look cool, which might still be an option, but for now this is what it looks like. I need to work on that bit. That's a work in progress. And then the overskirt here, I threaded some chain through, and then I added a little moon charm and a little spaceship charm, which is very Aurora coded. Spaceship doesn't wanna lay straight. And the thing I need to do for this is get a gold claw clip so I can actually like hold itself, because right now it's just tied and it won't stay, so it keeps sliding down. But this is basically, you get it. It's the basic vibe. We're gonna finish her after Massachusetts. Finish this look, I mean. She'll get more outfits. Because when I go to Massachusetts, I'm gonna go to Michael's and everything and collect the bits and bobs that I need. But overall, man, I am proud of this one. She looks exactly like I wanted her to. Her face is the most beautiful face I've freaking ever seen. And the doll, if you saw the box opening, if you didn't, once again, it will be linked down below. Like, the doll exceeded my expectations when I got her. So, we're all happy with her. Let's zoom back in so you can look at the face, the best part, the face. Yes, let's finish right on that face. We'll bring her beautiful painted hand up by her face so you can see that also. She's very graceful, like Aurora, because Aurora's a dancer. And that's pretty much all there is to say in this video, everybody. I mean, I'm happy with what I've done here. I feel like I achieved something that I'm not particularly good at, which is softness and not heavy-handedness. I really like the way she came out. I think she literally looks just like Aurora and I couldn't be happier. Again, the doll is an Amicus doll. Freya is this sculpt. It's on her new Equilibrium body. Beautiful. The wig is by Hopeful Creation. I know I said I was gonna make this wig myself, but I knew that my skill set was not really there. I had done a face up for Hopeful Creation and he was like, I owe you one. So I was like, hey girl, can you make me a wig? And he's like, absolutely. And so this beautiful wig comes from Hopeful Creation. I will link their Instagram down below if you have any interest. And she is really doing it for me. Most beautiful doll in my collection. If this is the first time you're here, I'm Mini Stitches. Here's what I look like. This is me all day, every day. There's not a time that I do not look like this. Don't question me. I am always put together. And so I hope you enjoyed, you know, this craft and chat. That's really what it was. More like a craft and complain, but I'm happy with the result. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think. Do you think she looks like Aurora? Did you enjoy this style of video? I know that some of you have been asking for the craft content, but I guess the numbers will tell the truth. So thanks for coming. And if you made it all the way to the end here, congratulations, you're a real one. Let me know you're a real one by putting a flying saucer emoji down below. And from me and Aurora here, we hope you have a wonderful time. We hope you have a wonderful, wonderful time. Goodbye.